Okay.
Hi everybody, this is Tom from Rocket Restorations, and today we get back on the 70 Charger. And the theme for today's video is don't. What do I mean by don't? I mean, don't take your car apart unless you have a plan to get it finished. So this one was taken apart as a restomod project back in the late 2000s, like 08, 09 is where most of the parts are from. And they were going to do a restomod to it, but like, as you'll see as we start going through parts today, which is what we're going to be doing for most of this video, they just didn't really have a plan. They just kind of threw stuff together. It's like there's a nice 66 block that's 40 over, and they have 30 over pistons. They have a roller cam and rockers, but like nothing else matches. You know, they got 3-inch Dynaflow mufflers, and those sound terrible. No, they think they're Flowmaster, but it's just not a good combination for this. It's going to sound terrible. So they, you know, they're going to do a fuel injection for the gas tank, as you'll see later in the pile. And it's just like, it's just nothing went together that well. Like, you need to have like a comprehensive plan to put this thing together. This thing was a charity car from a museum, and I know they got some of these parts donated. Maybe that was part of it. They got the parts donated, and they didn't really care. They just got as much as they could to put together, and I don't know what else to say there. So, yeah. So today we're gonna go through the parts a little bit and kind of show you what we got. Look, we put fenders on it. It looks brand new. Just made a trip down the spring fling and actually found some correct bucket seats for it. So I think I'm probably gonna sell off the 69 seats because these are the right ones for it. But we'll see. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. So today we're finally starting to go through these parts and actually see what we have. And there's some good stuff here. I'm probably not going to use it, but there's some good stuff here. There's a complete air ride suspension setup, which I'm not a huge fan of. SSBC front disc brakes. That is a giant muffler that Evan just found over there.
Hello!
Jamie says hello through it. It doesn't muffle much, does it?
No.
It's a complete vintage air kit. So we're trying to basically inventory everything and see what we got and kind of go from there. There's some Velcro, and as Jamie just said, don't use fiber composite gaskets because these are brand new, broken in the package. Yeah, don't use those. Jamie's live correcting me. Rubber fiber. I still can't get it right. The garbage is where this belongs. Delta Force mufflers. Yeah. Nah.
GM. Chevy.
I'm not sure why there's a GM pulley here, but there's a GM pulley here. So I'm going through more stuff. This is the stuff they pulled off the engine. There's a 66 440 block that came with it, and I'm assuming this is stuff that came off of it. But if you notice, that water pump is the later style. It's 72 or 73. The outlet's on the other side, and it has like that big neck on it, which you don't want to use on this. It's a bad idea. It looks bad and doesn't work, and we're not going to use it. So this is kind of the, I don't really like it. We're probably going to sell pile. So it's a big block March pulley set, painless harness, which is not true. It's horribly painful. And an Aeromotive fuel injection kit. So this is like to weld a baffle into your tank, which I'm not sure how well these things will work, because the thing is now you can actually buy tanks with pumps in them, which is pretty nice. But yeah, it's an Aeromotive, some sort of like fuel injection kit. But yeah, this stuff's not going to go back in the car, so it is now surplus. Went ahead and just threw the console in the car. I figured that's a safe spot for it now. Has a steering column, floor shift of course, and then the hood's in there too. Put the fenders on, makes it look a little bit more like a car. That's a roller rocker set, which Jamie's threatened to.
No, you're never going to see that again.
Never going to see that again. Okay, that's just miscellaneous interior stuff. Ooh, there's a stock heater box. Excellent, because there's a generic vintage air kit, which I don't really like these that much. So that's probably going to go away. And there's absolutely really no reason not to use a stock box on these, because they work fine. All right, here's front control arms. That's the pedal box. transmission cross member, lower control arms, upper control arms,
Hood hinges.
hood hinges, and the latch tray too. So that's good. All necessary stuff. This box is really heavy though. All right, so we're going through engine parts here, and as is typical for these projects, there's a bunch of really cool parts and none of them actually match. So what are those, Jamie?
These are 30 over high compression dome pistons, very similar to the factory max wedge piston. And these are set up for a floating pin. I mean, this is good stuff. Unfortunately, the rods we have are the factory 440 rods, not set up for a floater at all. So
yeah, good parts, nothing actually matches. So, which is, again, pretty typical of these builds, though, what we find. They just start buying parts for it and don't really know how they come together. So, yeah, we're gonna have to try to see if we can make a whole out of this. Jigsaw puzzle. So there's a really nice set of 69 Charger seats, which are not 70, unfortunately. So I'm probably just going to list these for sale. I got those correct buckets for it, and I got another back seat we can use for cores. It doesn't have the right seat covers on it anyways. So if somebody has a Charger and needs a nice white interior, boom, here you go. Got the 8 3/4 with a 391 sure grip in it and rear disc brakes. That's kind of a nice piece. That is the transmission that came out of it. And that box is a 518. So that is basically what they used in like the first gen diesel trucks and the vans. So the small block 727, but with an overdrive. And this is like a TCI rebuilt one. I mean, there's probably like a $3,000 rebuild for this thing. And it has like the adapter plates and everything, because it's obviously small bolt pattern. They're going to put it behind a 440. I still think it would be best to put a 3rd gen Hemi in this. I think that would be the best bet for this thing, but that's just my opinion. Here's the block. They got the machine work done, but didn't really finish it. These are the wheels that came with it. They're Magnum 500s at bias ply, so it's probably what was on the car when it was there. There's more of the air system stuff there. I don't even know what that is. I think it's like a 5-link or 4-link setup for it. So I need to get it all together. Here's all the boxes for it too. I'm sure that was a pretty expensive system. Here's all the stuff that came out of the engine, the stock rods and pistons, the cam. Again, you can't really use much of that stuff. This is a super valuable box of floor mats. Lots and lots of floor mats. I don't know why there's so many floor mats, but there's a lot of floor mats. This is all like front suspension stuff. The filler neck, steering box, the wiper motor too. Those are getting pretty hard to find. There's all the door pieces, the drums, the radiator, which has been pretty severely modified actually. Moved the neck to the other side there, and these have been moved too, if you can see that. There's the original dash with the VIN on it, RT. So yeah. But yeah, when you do a project like this, make sure you can finish it, because yeah, this thing's kind of a mess. It's kind of a basket case now, and trying to put it back together is going to be a bit of a challenge. All right, so we went through most of the parts here. It looks like most everything's here. I mean, there's always going to be some little stuff missing, and there's stuff that just doesn't match the project. You know, there's like there's an intake from a 67 440. Like, I would never put that on here. It's made up for an AFB. It's just not the right intake. If you're going to throw a 440 in this, you're going to put an aluminum one on there. But yeah, I mean, the theme of this video is just have a plan. Like, you know, we're not quite sure what we're going to do with this thing yet. You know, if anybody is interested in purchasing this project, let us know. We would love to be able to finish this thing for our customer. You know, Gen 3 Hemi in it, upgraded suspension. We've got a lot of parts for it already. You know, all the AC systems done, 8 3/4 done, all the disc brake stuff. Like, there's a lot of good parts here to put this thing together. So if anybody's seriously interested in finishing this project and wants Rocket to finish it for them, please let us know. We'd love to be able to do that for you. The bodywork's pretty much all done. It's kind of in final primer. It's had most of the body work done. It definitely had a few pieces. You can see right here the Dutchman was replaced. A little bit of window work, a little bit in the trunk pan, but you know, all the hard work's done on this thing. It just needs, you know, plum crazy purple squirted on it and good to go down the road. So, all right, well, this be a lesson to all of you. Don't take a car apart unless you're ready to get it totally finished, or have a good restoration shop who's going to do it. This one was taken apart, not put back together, and sat in a warehouse for 20 years. And now we have to go through and kind of pick up the pieces on it. So thanks everybody for watching. Really appreciate it. We will talk to you guys soon.